Hello, everyone. This is Illa Lynn, and thanks for stopping by my channel, Everything Spiritual. Disclaimer: all readings are for entertainment purposes only, so enjoy. Hi, everyone. How y'all doing today? This is Illa Lynn, and thank you for stopping by my channel, Everything Spiritual. Today I'm going to do the first of many true crime readings. And to start my readings off, I want to look into the alleged murder-suicide of Qaadir Malik Lewis and his twin brother, Naasir Raheem Lewis. These guys were from Lawrenceville, Georgia, which to my understanding is a few hours outside of Atlanta. They were found, their bodies were found 90 miles away from their home in Lawrenceville, Georgia, on Bell Mountain, which is in Hiawassee, Georgia. The Georgia Bureau of Investigations is saying that this is right now classified as a murder/suicide. These two young men were scheduled to fly out of Atlanta going to Boston, Massachusetts on the 8th of March. So I'm going to do a spread on this particular crime and see what information I can come up with regarding the alleged murder-suicide of Qaadir and Naasir Lewis. I'm going to put down some cards with this true crime deck, and I'm going to use the Tarot of the Haunted House for clarifications. And let's see if we can find out what took place with these two very, very young men. The twin boys, or the young men, were 19 years old, and it was stated that they were a few weeks from their 20th birthday. Also, it is said by the parents that these young men had not gone to Bell Mountain in the past. They came from a very loving home, and the family is just in shock of trying to understand what would cause such a thing. So I'm hoping to get some insight from this reading and possibly provide some answers that would make this situation make sense. So let's see what's going on here. All right. It's looking as if it's looking as if this case has something to do with social media. There could have been something exposed on social media that may have caused these two young men to be in their feelings about something. Someone may have threatened to put something on social media regarding these young men, and it looks as if with the star card that whatever was supposed to be put on social media regarding these two guys, they were hoping and praying that that would not happen. And whatever it was that was threatened to possibly be exposed on social media, it made these two, it may have caused the twins to want to run away, to want to get away from the situation. And there could have been some blackmail of some sort going on, because you have the Four of Pentacles. So right now it looks like one of the reasons this situation may have occurred could be due to something being threatened to be posted on social media. And then you have as far as what was hoped to be gained by committing this act, or by this act happening, we have the Knight of Cups. So this could be dealing with a male energy. This could be a male water sign who is involved with this situation. Something may have been said or done or threatened to be exposed that made someone want to cause harm or hurt either the person putting out the bad publicity or rumors or facts. Or it could have been the boys, the twins, wanting to retaliate from someone possibly putting out something on social media regarding the twins. And whatever this was, it put the twins in a position where they may have felt trapped. They may have felt like, oh my God, if this information gets out, I may not be able to live it down. Or it's most likely a situation that both of these guys were involved in. And whatever that situation was, they were able to tap into their intuition, or they felt intuitively that they didn't have any way out. They felt intuitively that they may have been trapped, as far as their hand may have been forced for them to do something that they normally otherwise would not do. Now, the victims may have thought that by them not being present anymore, that their family may have benefited, or their family might benefit financially from their demise. And then there's an energy of a new beginning that would take place after their demise or after their unaliving. They wanted to escape. They wanted to move, change their location. This is coming across as, the energy is coming across as that of someone wanting to flee a situation, and that they were not happy with their current situation or circumstances. And here you have the Emperor, and then you have homicide. If what the GBI says is so, then this could be the stronger one of the two who have possibly unalived the brother. Or this could be someone who has threatened to unalive the brother. Based off the information that we have thus far, it is being labeled as a murder-suicide. So that would mean someone had to commit homicide and then possible suicide if what the GBI says is so. Now, something that could have caused this behavior could be related to addictions. There could have been a drug addiction amongst the two, or between the two. There possibly was some type of drug addiction. There was some behavior, something was going on where they were being controlled. Possibly they may have been on drugs or under some other type of an influence. You have the Devil card here. And this card is dealing with addictions or being under the influence of something other than your natural mind that would cause you to make decisions that are not in your best interest. And this could have happened as a result of someone or the boys, those young men, feeling ostracized, feeling like an outcast of some sort. And they could have been tired of feeling this way. And as a result, they made a choice to make that ultimate sacrifice, if you will, through unaliving themselves. And what is behind this is they have been called out on something. And this could be within the family structure, but something pertaining to their behavior has led the family to look at them as being fraudulent, and that whatever they were doing, the family clearly didn't approve of it, and they felt that the behavior could have been outside of who they knew them to be. This may have happened as a result of a relationship with this person or some dealings with this person. This may be a very dangerous person, someone that they have known. They may have known something that this person has said or done that they didn't want to get out. This person may have had previous unalivings under their belt, per se. This person could have been after them, or this person could have put the fear in them to have led them to having the drug addiction and addictive behavior to something. It looks like they were looking for healing. They were looking for a way out of whatever lifestyle or whatever way of living that they had come to be familiar with. This could have something to do with abuse. This could have something to do with monies. Dealing with someone who has a lot of money and who's powerful, possibly and definitely an older, this is definitely an older male figure. This is an earth sign male. So you would be looking at Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus. But whatever this male did, it led the twins to wanting to escape, have escapism, and also wanting to have some form of healing occur so that they could either stop the pain, stop the ridicule, and be allowed to live their lives as their true, authentic selves. This person may have been in the way of them living their true, authentic life and may have had a lot to do with their unaliving. The victims may have felt that they had to be in a position where they're committing a crime of passion. They were very loyal to each other. They had each other's back. They were identical twins. So I'm sure when one person felt pain, so did the other. And they may have shared a lot of the same emotions. And this looks as if part of the problem had something to do with fundings, with monies. Maybe there was a shortage, or they were not in a position where they were able to take care of themselves. Or maybe they were just barely getting by as young men. Their intuition led them to make the decision to have their last place before the unaliving on the mountaintop. That mountain is symbolic for something. They may have gone there with friends or gone there unbeknownst to their family knowing about it. But that particular location, Bell Mountain in Hiawassee, Georgia, was very significant to the twins. And it looks as if they were in a position where whatever they were going through, whatever problems that they were having, it was too much. It became too much. It became a burden. And this wooded area, I know they were located on a mountain, but they may have been on a trail in a wooded area, meaning they weren't just, I don't know where they were placed, but it doesn't appear that they were out in the open. Someone may have found them along a trail of some sort. I'll try to get a little bit more information, because what I'm gathering from this spread is that, and first of all, I want to pray that the family finds peace. I pray that Qaadir and Naasir Lewis rest in heaven and their souls are at peace. And I pray that the family finds peace and resolution. This is pure speculation. I have no factual evidence that this reading is accurate in any way. Some or all of this video may or may not apply to this crime scene. It is just speculation. So I'm going to try to get a little more clarity on this situation, and then I'm going to ask a few questions pertaining to this incident and see what more information we can come up with. But it's looking as if these two guys may have been threatened to have something exposed, or something may have already been exposed. There's a possibility the threat of it being on social media or being put out to everyone, for everyone to know and see. And it may have caused a feeling of wanting to flee, to escape the negativity, or to escape the judgment and ridicule. And the money factor may be someone was possibly trying to extort or blackmail them to keeping quiet or to not posting whatever they were going to post on social media. So let me get a little more clarification with this spread. All right, I'm going to see if I can get a little more information, clarification on what actually took place. See, that's that card, murder, suicide. So that's going in alignment, or that is in alignment with what the Georgia Bureau of Investigation is saying. So it's a possibility. There could have been some mental health problems going on that caused them not to be as sound or mentally stable. All right, I was saying that there may have been some mental health problems that these guys were dealing with, which could have put them in a position of vulnerability. We already have drugs or poison, and this is a sign of addiction. For some reason, they thought that by them committing this act, that they would get justice, or maybe their family would get justice. Now, inside job would lead me to believe that it was an actual murder or unaliving between the two of them. So it does appear you have this. You have this card here, which is the Emperor, which that's someone taking the stronger one of the two. Whoever had the stronger personality, that is who this is reflecting, because he was strong enough to do the unaliving, which would be this, and then followed it up with that. Illuminati hub, there may have been some cult-like behavior, or maybe they were involved in some type of secret group or society. Them making the decision to take this action could have a lot to do with their relationship with their father. That could have been a motive, disapproval, possibly. Someone saw it. Someone was watching. They may have not have come forward, or the GBI may not have released that information, but someone was actually a witness to this crime or to this situation. Money was involved. I don't know if it was the lack thereof, or they felt that in this taking place that someone would receive money, because there was a card that had a life insurance. So a lot of people take out insurance policies on their children for various reasons. So that may have been a factor. Jealousy. There could have been jealousy involved because they were not afraid to live their true, authentic lives. Maybe they were not afraid to be themselves, and they were surrounded by people who may have been jealous because of that. Of course, it happened outside. It took place outside. And inside job. So from what I'm gathering from this spread, there was something going on in those young men's lives that they may have felt hopeless. They may have felt that they could not recover from the situation, or they couldn't simply handle it. There looks to have been some drug abuse or drug usage that may have either made them more vulnerable, or it may have clouded their judgment because of that. So once I get these up, I have a few questions I'm going to pose, and then we can wrap this reading up. The first question I want to know is, did Naasir and Qaadir Lewis, did they actually want to go to Boston? Now, when they were found, they had their tickets in their pocket, and this tragedy occurred, or they went missing the day prior to them flying from Atlanta to Boston. So I want to know, did they really want to go to Boston? Let's find out if Qaadir and Naasir actually really wanted to go to Boston. Let's see if they actually wanted to go to Boston. It looks like they wanted help. They wanted someone to help them. And their intuition may have gotten the best of them if there were secrets. It looks like there may have been some secrets, or they were working together to prevent some type of secrets from coming out. Now, this is the second time the serial killer card has come up. So they may have felt like oddballs, aliens, not of this world. They felt different. And they wanted to flee. They wanted to move on. And they may have thought that through their delusion of maybe if there was drugs, addiction involved, that this was the only way out. They may have felt that the unaliving was the only way out because they felt like they did not belong. So that would tell me no, they didn't want to go to Boston. And then also, if they wanted to go to Boston, they would have went. It also leads me to believe that all right. So the next question I have is, why were the boys going to go to Boston? Their family said that they were going to hang out with friends. But from what I'm gathering, they did not want to go to Boston. There was something about Boston that they did not want to go, that made them not want to go there. So let's find out, why were they going to Boston? What was going on in Boston? What was going on with Boston? What was going on with Boston? All right. It looks like they may have been told that they would have better opportunities in Boston. They have better opportunities. And this is possibly the mother or matriarch figure who is telling them or giving them the impression that what they were currently doing, it wasn't going to be enough for them to either take care of themselves or sustain themselves, or they were not happy with where they are. They were not happy with where they were currently in life. So it looks like they most likely have family and friends in Boston. And the mind control could have been done by a matriarch figure in the family, someone who was encouraging them to leave Lawrenceville, Georgia, and to go to Georgia or to go to Boston. Maybe they were told that their family was in Boston and the family may be able to help them get on their feet. And as far as the affair card goes, let me get a clarifier for affair. The family affair. So they were encouraged to go to Boston so that their family there could help them get on their feet, could help them feel good about what they're doing, could help them choose the proper field of work or study to get into. So they were encouraged to go to Boston for possibly a new beginning, a new way of life, or maybe more opportunities than what they were able to have in Atlanta or Lawrenceville, Georgia. All right, show me, I want to know what's going on with the family. What is the family dynamic in Lawrenceville, Georgia? Show me the family dynamic that was going on in these young men's home. They're only 19 years old, so it's a great chance that they possibly still lived at home. Okay. All right, that card fell out again. Crime of passion. Okay. Oh, wow. That's a coincidence there. And this is the second time that the landfill card has come up. So let me get clarification on landfill. Okay, so home must have been a very toxic place. They spent a lot of time imagining and dreaming and fantasizing about how they wanted to live their life. So they may have felt that they were imprisoned at home. They could not be their true, authentic self. And that may have caused them to have skeletons in their closet. You know, that caused them to hide who they were. They had to suppress or suspend their nature. They were in a state of looking at things through a different perspective, and it could be the perspective that may have been forced on them. And intuitively, they felt that they had to get out of there. The home may not have been the best place for them to be their true authentic selves or to express who they were. There could have been threats of violence from family members or people who are close to their family, because you have the dismemberment card underneath the skeletons in the closet, or the hangman. And then their intuition was telling them that home was toxic. Life in Lawrenceville, Georgia could have been very toxic for them, causing them to have nightmares, anxiety, stress. We don't know what or why they felt that way. Let me pull from this deck here and see if we can understand why they felt home life was like a landfill. It was toxic. What caused that feeling? What caused them to have that feeling? What caused Qaadir and Naasir to feel as if home was a very toxic place for them? So we want to clarify land field. You have deep state. Okay, was it a deep state of depression? Okay, the behavior, the devil, addictions, addictive behavior, being bound to something, having something control you, something beyond your will, possibly. So this is a great possibility why home felt like a landfill or some type of toxic environment. The next question is, did they drive to the mountaintop? How did they get to the mountaintop? I want to know, how did they get to the mountaintop? How did they get to the mountaintop? Did they drive? Did someone take them? How did they get to the mountaintop? See, how did they get there? Faked death. What does that mean? How did they get to the mountaintop? They traveled there, okay. Did they drive? Did someone drive them? Oh, they may have paid someone money to get them there. This clearly isn't true. Or is it? No. This card has come up about 3 times. So it's looking as if they may have paid someone to take them to the mountain. Or maybe they were going to initially fake the unaliving, but something went wrong. That card has come up before too. Faked. So I'll get clarifications on these, because that's interesting. They traveled there with money. They had money. They had their tickets in their pocket. No one said that they had their luggage or bags packed. So under fake death, this is a male energy, a water sign. Maybe it's something like that was suggested. Travel. They possibly, they may have chosen to travel to the mountain as a ritual of some sort. They took actions and decided that they wanted to travel to the mountain to possibly fake their unaliving, but maybe something went wrong. They're very close. Now, what money had to do with their relationship if they didn't have money? And look, they want their family to be happy. It was a crime of passion. So that crime of passion could equal that what the GBI is stating happened, as hard as it is to believe. Who bought the plane tickets? Let's find out who purchased those tickets for them to go to Boston. The energy gives me the impression that they were still young enough. They were at home, possibly with their family, living with their parents, or living in the family home, since they had graduated high school a couple years ago. So they may have lived at home with their family, and someone in the family possibly bought the tickets. All right, this is it was a secret, an illusion. We want to know who bought the tickets. How did they get the tickets? The family. Their family bought the tickets for them. And maybe whatever member purchased the tickets didn't want them to say anything about it. They were helping them out. But it definitely looks like a family member purchased the tickets. See, caregiver. A family member purchased the tickets for them to go to Boston. The crime of passion keeps coming up. That's about the third time. So yeah, their family member or someone close to the family that lives in their neighborhood helped them get the tickets. And the crime of passion is related to the Seven of Pentacles, which is dealing with feeling that whatever you have done, you're not satisfied with the results, with the fruits of your labor, with what you have planted. You're not satisfied with the seeds that you have sown, and now they have come to bloom or come to fruition. So I want to know, what was their mindset 24 hours before this happened? What were they thinking about? What was going on in their minds 24 hours before this situation occurred? Show me what was going on with their minds. Okay, before it occurred, someone was bored. They weren't very happy with what was going on. Again, that card has come up several times. Before this occurred, they were not feeling too good about themselves. They were not feeling good about how they may have been perceived by their family or what the family had to say. This could be someone that was in opposition to them at home. And this is a secret society or mask being, it gives you the idea that this is a secret society. Maybe they were part of a secret society or brotherhood. But it looks like it's something that they're not proud of because their faces are covered. Whatever they're doing, they're hiding. They're doing it in shame. And then you have the devil card again. So they had some devilish behaviors going on, or maybe they were making choices. This is generally, like I mentioned before, associated with addictions, addictive behavior, self-defeating behavior. And this is actually, although they have little skirts, but they look like twin children there. And there is water. And water generally the waves are a sign of something being tumultuous, but you may have the unconditional love of your family per se. But sometimes family can be, they can protect, rescue, smother too much, and then it causes a problem. Wooded area, this keeps coming up with regards to where they were found. Revenge. Who would want revenge? Were they seeking, was that an act of revenge in mountains? So it occurred on the mountains, in a wooded area on the mountains. Now I'm just wanting to understand who was seeking revenge. As we know, this is not the weapon that was used, but was there someone seeking revenge? Was there someone out to get them? Someone threatening to expose them for something? That's the energy that I got earlier, was that someone was threatening to expose them through social media or some platform, or socially being exposed. So I want to see who was seeking revenge. Who wanted revenge? Who wanted revenge? Okay, this is the Tower. And the Tower is generally when all hell breaks loose in a situation. So someone wanted revenge for something, and it was a Tower moment. And see, this is a card of, and this came out before as well, meaning you're afraid of something, or someone wants you to repent Or if you are possessed, you have the priest there as if he's trying to free you or release you of whatever is holding you. Again, this could be associated with lifestyle choices. That someone wanted revenge because maybe they exposed something that they didn't want exposed. You know, this card is associated with being self-sufficient and independent. So there could have been whatever the twins were doing. It could have been putting money in their pocket, but at the same time, it was very destructive in nature. And then you have the Knight of Cups, someone coming with an offering to say, hey, you know, try this way. Let me show you how to change your circumstances. Let me put you in a position where you can work and do something and you're protected. You don't have to worry about the repercussions of your actions or your means of earning. You're safe. You're safe to earn. So it looks as if there was someone seeking revenge, and that revenge is because something was exposed, something was said, something was shared that may have been something that disappointed the family. Maybe the family didn't know the full details of what was going on, but somebody spilled the beans, and that caused a chain reaction for those two young men to end up on the mountains in a wooded area. All right, I want to know if they had any abuse. Was there any abuse going on for them to want to leave home? Was there anything going on at home that caused them to want to flee, to want to leave? What was so bad that home wasn't a good place to be? Was there any abuse or were they neglected in their home? Was there anything going on at home with these guys that would cause them not to want to be there or be here at all? Was there anything going on? Let's see. Again, secrets, illusions. There were some secrets that had gotten out. And someone could have been blackmailing them or threatening to expose something, whatever those secrets were. And of course, it goes back to the family. So it appears that and they're young. When you're young, you think everything is tragic and earth-shaking. But it appears that there were some secrets going on in the home, or there were some secrets going on that could possibly been associated with some type of abuse or neglect. And that card fell out, so I'll put it back out. Well, the secret could have something to do with being nurtured, feminine energy, tapping into feminine energy, manifesting something feminine. And then you have someone threatening to expose you that would interfere with your home life, or having a nice, comfortable home life where you may be in a position to receive family inheritances, or a family inheritance. And your family is very important to you, and you want to hold on to your family, but something has led to that. The behavior in the home. Something happened in the home, or something was exposed in the home, and it led to that behavior. So there was something going on in the home. So I would say yes. There was something going on that we're not privy to, that may have led to those two ending up on the mountain. And then the last thing I wanted to know was, what have they been doing since they graduated high school? What have they been doing since they graduated high school? Show me what Qaadir and Naasir have been doing since they graduated high school. Okay, under the deck energy is the Nine of Swords. So ever since they've left school, they may have had feelings of anxiety and stress, maybe stress to perform. You have the Magician, so that's someone that's able to create everything, or to create. This is someone who has a lot of resources that are able to manifest things in their life. But then you have the Seven of Swords here next to that. And this is someone that takes more than their fair share. And then you have the King of Wands. So it looks as if since they finished school, they may have had a hard time getting a job. And that may be one of the reasons why they were encouraged to move to Boston, or go to Boston, so that they could walk away from their thieving ways, or they could walk away from their possible deceptive, conniving, deceiving ways. Here it looks as if this is someone that would manifest or have the resources to create what they want, but they may have had trouble getting and keeping employment. And then this energy here, this person, this could be a dominant figure that they know. This could be someone who they've seen commit crimes or do something that would have them feeling in fear of this person, or knowing, they may know what this person has done, and it has led them to take action. This person could have something to do with the threatening, the harassment, the possibly exposing secrets, having things come to the surface. See, the graduation, they've wanted to change their location. They wanted to do something different because they feel different. Both of these cards have come up several times. They did not feel like everyone else. They felt special, unique. They were individuals. And a lot of times they may not have felt like they were a part of the crowd, a part of their people. They may not have felt like they were a part of the group, a part of the family. They felt different. They may have felt isolated. Mind control has come up again. So there's a female who's had a strong influence over them that they're very close with. It could be a mother figure, someone who is constantly watching them and checking for them and making sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do and understanding why they're doing what they're doing. So that has been what they've been doing since high school, coming into their sense of own, coming into their sense of self, walking away from deceptive, devious behavior, possibly feeling isolated, like an outcast, wanting to travel and move on, move away, possibly for work. So guys, there you have it. This has been my first True Crimes Tarot and Oracle card reading. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. There will be more true crime readings in the future. And until the next time, namaste.